moment of your time, Commander.
Oh, we finally have something.
Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. I try not to think about regret or remorse. I shut down her work. I was wrong. Stating that out loud is the furthest extent of my self-castigation. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path.
Interesting.
Do appreciate it, Commander.
So I guess if we're going out, we can take... Sorry, Niles, you won't come with us this time. We'll take you two. Because I technically need both of you, and both of you also seem like you're kind of bloodthirsty. So...
What could
Hello.
possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this?
I can give it a try. I can give it a gander.
Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options. It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing small, localized blizzards. Long term, the archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its maximum operations per millisecond. Obviously, this is unacceptable. I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the Protectorate. But we must protect the archive. Oh, this is most appreciated. Unfortunately, the previous repair personnel took the only repair kit I had on hand. I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map, but locating the repair personnel will be up to you. If you find him, you find the kit.
Fair enough.
I hope. Otherwise, the repair will be most difficult. I'll guide you.
Hello.
We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in a crossfire.
Why are you so low?
Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, but losing the archive, first to the invaders and now to the Protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the risks. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. Only the finest place on this island. Words aren't sufficient to
I don't know why you're so low.
the attributes. Best you observe it yourself. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest path is along the cliffside. Mind your step.
Okay, so we got a few different little side quests here. It's a good amount of stuff to do, which is nice.
Heard that rift near the... Halt!
Hello.
The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Cultist. Agitators are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
How'd you like to find your insides waiting outside?
I find that an improbable outcome were we to engage in violent conflict.
Let's test it out.
Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
Bet. This is where we have to go, right? Yeah, okay. $2,700. Oh, let's go.
Oh, Agent, I have a message for you.
What's up?
Oh, I was not expecting you to be in the company of a cultist.
A cultist and her extremely sharp knife. Shall I introduce you?
No, that won't be necessary. Where was I? Oh, yes, I remember now. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right.
Bet.
The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, craftsmen of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the garden's hub for all manner of research, instruction, and study. A beacon on the hill of progress. Since the Order's forced dispossession of Spyreton and the Archive, many spaces within the hall have been repurposed to serve as a temporary headquarters. Which is to say, please excuse our mess. We're still remodeling. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you?
Fair.
All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. May all your problems precede solutions.
Alright, let's see. So what can we do here?
Is it just me? Or does something seem... Oh, never mind.
No, I'm with you.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
Hello.
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. Oh, well, that's certainly specific. You will soon regain your professional momentum, augmented by your recent period of rest and reassessment. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal
just lie, why
equation
not?
and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Come now, don't tell me you haven't noticed our particular strain of hospitality here in the garden. I can only imagine how odd such an abundance of tranquility and friendliness must seem when contrasted with, well, anywhere else in Arcadia, especially in the middle of a war, and so near active fighting. Almost unfeasible, wouldn't you say?
No, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Appreciate that. I spent decades undercover with only self-affirmations to assuage my vacillating morale. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps?
Let's go, Marisol.
Oh, hello. Welcome to CAF Integration Point. I'm Junior Caffeine Celebrant Runch, and I'll be happy to assist you today. Oh, she's a real top-of-class type. Smart, but also patient. I struggle sometimes with my advanced courses, but Persephone's been tutoring me after work hours. I'm just glad she doesn't mind teaching the same lesson twice. Anyway, I'd hate to waste any more of your free study period with my idle thoughts. Anything else I can help with?
No. Alright then, what's up?
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. Recall what you have observed thus far. Isn't it strange how calm everyone is? The Order is in the middle of a war. A war, one might say, they are losing. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. Moderate your volume, please. No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested?
Required info not found. Is that gonna be what I actually need to bring her?
Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that.
Why
All
not?
you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug.
Water
I believe they
reconditioning.
call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood?
Understood. Requires psychopath.
It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier.
Hello, that's
What a lamentable I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky.
damn.
Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. I knew you had a knowledgeable look about you.
I try.
That would be wonderful. Thank you, dear. There's a panel just here. I will supervise from a respectable distance, but know that I am with you in theory, like the architect's own guiding hand.
Hack 11. Well, you know what? Good thing we are there.
And so there was light. My sincerest thanks.
There we go.
I will be sure to extol your virtues to the laureates the next time we speak. And here, a little treat for your effort.
Okay, so that'll be very handy. Okay.
Back again, are we?
Fuck, requires sneak.
No, not asleep. Merely waiting. Only whilst simultaneously attempting to repel waves of near paralyzing trepidation, as one does. I have no idea.
Cool.
Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. Oh no. You know what they say about having too many totalizers on the same sum? Precisely. Oh, My goodness, it's refreshing to converse with someone so like-minded. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand? But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance?
Not yet.
Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, why, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. Oh no.
Why not? Why not?
I ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that?
4 logs,
4.
okay.
No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Ooh.
Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more. How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively.
What's the required item that I needed? Oh, a sample.
As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. Irritation, paranoia, increased desire to gamble, oddly enough, but all manageable conditions, of course. We are increasingly operating with fewer resources, however, and most regrettably, we've had to eject more and more subjects from the experiment in order to continue it. In a plan-perfected universe, we would have ample time to wean participants off perspective before sending them out of the garden. But, alas, we do not live in that universe. Yet. I'm pleased you agree. Though, to be clear, it wouldn't have mattered much if you felt differently.
Actually, what are the general
Agent,
questions?
In what manner can I assist you? Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Of course I do. That is precisely why my energy is better channeled toward the future, to ensure such tragic events never happen again. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. What other stray inquiries occupy your mind?
Nothing else. Alright. Damn, so I can't.
For pity's sake, is it the pump? Industrial science is mostly theory, they said. You won't have to put your knowledge into practice for years, they said. Now the fountain's broken and I can't. Useless. I'm useless. We had an avalanche recently, not far from the dome. One of these fountains stopped working around the same time. Stands to reason something must have been jostled loose. I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. It's not going well. You must be an agent of the architect. The panel here controls the intake and outtake for the fountains. I'd start there.
Bet. Don't mind if I do, buddy.
Praise the architect. I hear water running. I'd provide compensation, but isn't the garden's beautification a reward in and of itself?
I hate you.
Mind your truth table P's and Q's now.
Don't mind if I do. Acquire sample of the drug. Bypass? Bypass shunts required to +1 bypass shunts required to hack. 100% experience from hacking. So I have to use more bypass shunts, but I have 100% experience from hack. Sure. I'll take it, why not? That's fine. Hello. Nice security you have there.
You. I don't know who you are. But if you thought it wise to bring a cultist into the heart of Order territory, you are deeply foolish. I have not the slightest theory as to how you bypassed our guards. But if it was through violence, be assured, it will be returned exponentially.
Exactly. Though, to be honest, I was thinking of filleting you, but it didn't seem worth getting Artificer all over me.
I shall be the judge of her trustworthiness myself. There is a cultist-centric issue the Order needs resolved. I suspect you are capable of doing such. If you are not, I cannot trust you, and certainly cannot allow you to see Ruth.
If these cultists are suffering the same affliction of being traitorous curs as the others seem to be, then I look forward to killing them.
Damn.
My task is this. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there.
As much as I'd welcome the bloodshed, it may be wise for me to avoid members of the Dawn until I get their treachery sorted.
I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Fair.
Agent, over here.
What's up?
There you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
Thank you for letting me know.
I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another?
Oh, let's just say that.
I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Are you deriding me, or do you honestly believe that? So many exemplars have died since this war began. So many under my leadership, but that's not your point, I understand. I wish I had more time to devote to my tinkering, but the war takes precedence. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. It's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. We are standing in the experiment. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. But surely, I'm only a pessimist. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
I'm not gonna expose a spy like that.